Alright, it's finally here. Good God. Like, this past month has been so much filled with stuff. I forgot about doing this, actually. But yeah, it's finally here. My Elimination Chamber 2023 review from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And yeah, it's finally here. It's late as always, as seems to be the general theme in my videos, but better late than never is what they used to say. So, Elimination Chamber 2023 from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and yeah, that crowd was amped up for pretty much the whole event, especially the main event, which we will talk about. So, Elimination Chamber 2023 review. And the crowd was really amped up, and they really helped the show to the edge, and it kind of reflected on the show since, for the most part, Elimination Chamber 2023 was really good. It was really good for the most part. There were like 5 matches only, and besides that one match, which I'm going to get to talk about in a moment, except for that one match, every match was good up to great. So yeah. So let's talk about the opener, which is the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which will determine the challenger for Bianca Belair's Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. It had Carmella, Nikki Cross, Natalia, which she's from Canada, by the way, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Asuka, the Murder Clown. So they started out with Liv, and I think Liv and Natalia were like the beginning parts, and then they were going at it, and Carmella sweep in. No. Who was I think it was either Raquel or Nikki. I think. No, I think it was Nikki. Yeah, she came in. She wrestled the match a bit with a coat. With a coat. She wrestled for a few minutes before climbing out the chamber, where she realized she had that coat for so long and then finally took it off. That was a command moment. Then Carmella sweeping and Asuka sweeping. And overall, this match was really good. Was pretty good. Not as good as the other Chamber match we're going to talk about, but this was still pretty good. It was a bit clumsy, a little bit, but overall, it was pretty good, and they had some sick spots where Liv Morgan doing that sick ass sunset flip powerbomb to I think it was like Raquel and Natalia from like the top of the chamber pot, and literally crashed herself and the opponent to the ring. That was insane. And even the way she got eliminated with Natalia hitting the sharpshooter Liv, and they tried to power, and then Asuka did like a arm breaker, sort of variation of the arm breaker onto Liv, and that got her Liv to get eliminated. She didn't tap, but it was so much through the pain that she couldn't hold on to it for much longer. And yeah, like Liv was kind of the MVP of it. Like, she really proved her. I think I saw her in an interview like weeks before this how she experienced pain and it's such a like a pleasure, and she kind of played the brutality part in this match, which she really shined on it. And then you had the final three with Asuka, Carmella hitting super kicks on Raquel. Then both eliminated Raquel Rodriguez, excuse me. And then the final three, Asuka, Carmella, and then they fight off of it before Asuka hit Salisbury's the Unbreaker on Carmella and attached her out. And Asuka wins the Elimination Chamber. Which sets up for Asuka versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 39, which should be a banger of a match. And this match was good. It was good. Little clumsy flaws in the beginning, but they built it up to well in after the beginning, and it was a good Shamer match. Nice job for the ladies. So then we get Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley 3. Oh boy. What can I say? Because really, like, it's kind of really to talk about. Like, this was basically the exact same match that these guys have since the two matches they had in the last year. Like, literally, this was the exact same match. Like, for what they did, it was alright, but they really didn't do much anything sort of variety in this match. I mean, how many times you guys see someone spear through the barricade and the other time someone missed? How many times you guys see that in this match? In this particular, like, and it's such a shame. Like, I enjoyed the build up, and it's such a shame that the build up for this was much better than this match. It's really a shame. Like, it's such a shame that these two couldn't get a variety in their movesets in their match. It was alright, but then this finish of the DQ, which pretty much made Brock look like a dumbass for like not countering the fucking submission, the hurt lock for Bobby Lashley like he did in the second match. Remember in the second match where he had to roll Lashley through to get the pin? And this was done so poorly. Made Brock look like an idiot for not trying to pin the reverse pin like he did in the second match. That was so lame. And the aftermath we hit F5. So apparently these two will not be in a match for WrestleMania, which the postman see you to tell you it was gonna be a Mania, but apparently it isn't. Apparently it's going to be Brock and Omos and Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt, which Wyatt hinted that whoever walks out the winner of this match, they should better win at WrestleMania. So, yeah. your best way to utilize Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley to put them in separate matches, which one of them probably ain't gonna be for that long, because if it is long, then it will suck hard. And one of them is probably gonna be one of the gimmick sponsor matches, which I think they're having a sponsored gimmick match of sorts at WrestleMania. It's probably something for Bray Wyatt, maybe, since they already didn't mind to do Pitch Black. So, yeah. So that kind of made this finish even worse, because it's not really set up anything for Mania. So, yeah, that was a mediocre match with a bad finish. Easily the worst match of the night. It was just a damn shame, man. Thankfully, we got rid of that so we can talk about the mixed tag team match between Edge and Vet Phoenix, against Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor from the Judgment Day with Dominic in his corner. And that crowd for that match was just fucking hating on Dominic for saying fuck you, Dominic, throughout pretty much the early purchase on the mat. To him getting ejected, the crowd saying nah, hey, only for him to come back, the crowd loudly boos. Like, that cracked me up legit. And Dominic is just an entertaining character, man. Like, who would have thought he would become probably one of the best parts, probably one of the best parts of this Fast in the Judgment Day. Like, his character work right now is just has been sort of lasting for us as fans. But the match, except for that horrible botch pin save pin attempt with that, was pretty much late after doing this video. Late for that pin when Edge was laying concert with him, handing the nuts. He did the nuts to the Edge, and then the ref tried stop the count only for Vet hit it. That was not good. Except for that, this match was really good. It was good. Like, the match was good. And the last, the early portion was, the Son of Pros was good with Vet and Rhea interacting together. They gotta get to this match eventually. Maybe when Rhea wins the SmackDown Women's Championship for Charlotte at Mania. Hopefully, at least. When she gets that, maybe we can do this Beth Venus Rhea Ripley match for the titles. And especially since where we get to the outcome, which was Fun Female was really good with Finn Balor. Looked like he was hitting up, and then Edge hit the spear out of nowhere. That was great. And then hit the FTR Shatter Machine finisher, which was great. I'm not gonna. That was a great tribute. If you know about a little bit of history with Edge and that's hard work as well, they are very close, like really close. Like, and then they lived both in Carolina. I know Edge lives in there, and I think so does FTR. So that was a great tribute, and Edge got it for the win. So Edge and Venus won, which I kind of knew if the team were gonna win, I knew it had to be the men's side with Edge picking up the victory, since I think we all knew Rhea Ripley wasn't going to get pinned this close to her WrestleMania title match. I think we all knew that, but we didn't expect Edge. I thought that Judgment was gonna go over, and they didn't. Makes you think, like, they dragged this feud for so long with Edge and Judgment like that. With Edge being bad here, you kind of think it will put some closure on this feud, but apparently it won't be. Since apparently they're gonna have probably a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. So, I don't know, you probably just could. I kind of get why they did this, because they could. So that way Edge could face Austin Theory the 2 nights after this event. I kind of get, but like, yeah, like, you kind of figure that would have been a pretty good closer on this feud with Edge being invited here, but then they're gonna go to another match in scenes for WrestleMania between the both of them. So yeah. So then we get what was probably my favorite match of this night, believe it or not. The Elimination Chamber match for the men's side for the United States Championship. You have Austin Theory, the champion, defending against Montez Ford, Damian Priest, Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano, and Seth freaking Rollins. Holy freaking shit. Holy freaking shit, man. I think there are all mentioned for this match to make each and every competitor of it look good coming out of this as they're going in. And both did they freaking deliver, and damn, so like, holy shit. This was a kick-ass match. This was fan-fucking-tastic of an Elimination Chamber match for the US title. Like, every single one of the participants came out looking good. Like, Johnny Gargano had probably his best night on the main roster, which it's been so fucking ice cold, his fucking run on the main roster on Raw. But even here, he has some shine in this, like he used to in his NXT days. Like, Bronson Reed looked like a monster in some sorts. And Damian Priest looked good. Seth Rollins is always freaking great. Austin Theory looked really great. But the MVP in this match is probably Montez Ford. Like, he really shined throughout most of anybody, except maybe Johnny Gargano. With him doing a flip from the top of the chain and threw all the 5 guys in this match, that was insane. And that Hurricane just like jumped me out of my seat. When Johnny Gargano hit that Hurricane on top of all the participants in the chamber, that was insane. This was just a fast-paced action for this. Like, this was excellent, man. And then you had a finish where Walden hated the curse on Montez Ford and got him, and it looked like his pretty serious injury. Like you can see Montez Ford struggling to get out, and really and yeah, they really made you believe like Montez Ford was out. Like you could see he was out of it. Like, the door was open, you kinda knew what to expect next. So Seth Rollins said they were fine. Seth Rollins looked like he was about to win the USA, but then swerve, motherfucker. Logan Paul shows up and busts out lariat Seth Rollins. Like, Logan Paul probably has one of the best, if not the best bust out lariat I've ever seen, right? Like, the way he probably does it with velocity was holy shit, man. Like, he bust out lariat Seth Rollins and then hit the curse stuff on his own onto said that allowed Austin to pick up the win to retain the title. But yeah, this was an amazing chamber match. this is my match of that night. Every guy came out looked better than they were coming in. This was excellent chamber match for the US title. This was a banger of a match. And the finish with Logan Paul seems to be heading up to Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania, which if the Royal Rumble wasn't a confirmation, then this was it. Like you could tell this is all leads road to Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania, which should be a banger of a match. Sorry for saying banger, but it's true. That will be a banger of a match for Logan Paul at WrestleMania, and this was a banger match in the 6-man elimination chamber match for the US title. Just great stuff. Speaking of great stuff, heading to the main event of the elimination chamber, and I think this is probably the reason why this show was booked in Montreal to begin with. For the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, you have the defending champion Roman Reigns in enemy territory defending against the hometown hero Montreal, Quebec, Sami Zayn. Like I said, this is probably the primary reason why this show was booked for Montreal, so they can do this match in Montreal, Quebec, in Sami's hometown, where he was going to get the most advantage possible against Roman Reigns. And yeah, like this had months of build up to Sami's association with the bloodline, him slowly the slow dissension between him and Roman Reigns, which culminated the Roman Reigns saying hitting the shit on Roman, and then the bloodline attack is Sami, except for Jay, who walk out, and then end on SmackDown saying Charlotte Reigns for the title for this show. So this is all building up. This is the kind of the culmination of this Sami Roman story. So how did this went out? Well, like the crowd, I think the crowd was probably the best part of this match for me, because like the match was really good to great. I will admit. Like the match was still really good. Like here's the thing. The match was still really good. It had a lot of they stayed around ring for so long in that beginning. Like I will say the beginning portion where they were not did anything and just the crowd chanted "Funky Roman" was great. Sam and big plus for they bringing back Sami Zayn old babyface team. That was a great touch by the production team to bring back Sami Zayn. Old music for this, and you gotta act it because he's a face now. And with being in his hometown Montreal, the crowd was gonna fucking sing along throughout this whole thing, and they did some. That was great. So the match was still really good. Like Roman trash talking to Montreal was great. Like said, that's all you got? And Roman him praying to Sami into Sami's wife, which she was in the attendance, by the way, she was. And they had a funny interaction with Roman and Sami's wife, with Roman saying to her, like this is all I gave all of everything. He's responsible for all of this. And then Sami's wife said, she loved you. Like he loved you. Excuse me. He loved you. That was the entertaining interaction. It really goes to home how deeply the Sammy Roman feud has gone. So, yeah, that part was good. So, the match was really good. But it kind of felt like a lot with Roman style matches throughout the past 2 years. Where it was a lot of like a little bit of starting with Roman trash talking, which he's good at, but at some point it kind of gets repetitive. And him with being champion for like 900 plus days now. Like, it's a little repetitive, but it was still, like I said, really good. And like I said, I think like if the master place in any other crowd, it would just been good. Like, maybe if this might happen at WrestleMania in Los Angeles, might have been good. I don't know how much the crowd will be into it, but I think the reason why this crowd was so into this man was, I think partially, well, the storyline that they did is so great that the crowd can't be as invested. But with being in Montreal for this man, the crowd had to have been much electric for it because they wanted to see so badly to see their hometown hero, Sami Zayn win the title from Roman Reigns after this build up. And yeah, like, they had you really fully believe, like, with that the sunslip power off of Sammy, the Holiver kid, like, they made you fully believe he could do it. I must say, Roman Reigns is the king of kickouts in wrestling today. Like he fucking kicks out at 9.9 at this point. Like, he does a great job with those kickouts, I must admit. But then the finish with the Jimmy Uso coming out, him super kicking Sami Zayn, that it was quite shocked, a little bit surprised since Jimmy Uso has DUI history, so that means he couldn't play for much of the country since they thought he wasn't gonna be allowed to enter Canada to begin with, but apparently he did, and both the Usos did. So Jimmy Uso came out, super kicked Sammy thought Roman was gonna win, but Sammy kissed out just to give the crowd a little bit of hope of who was winning. Even you kinda knew who wasn't, even if you knew a little deep down he wasn't. So they had you, and then Sami Zayn kicking out the spear. They had you really fully believe. This man had not one but 2 ref bumps, which was kind of oversensitive by that point. You had one referee down, okay, but once you now 2 referees, that's a little overboard. Like, yeah. So the finish came with Roman about to hit the Steelers, and then Jey Uso came in. Then for the crowd. He came into the ring and had a big ass long stare down with Roman Reigns. With Roman Reigns saying, "Now you came here," and then Roman shoving Jey off. And Jey, even you can tell a bit, was about to crack Roman with it, but Sammy accidentally hit the spear on Jey Uso, which Roman hit them with chair shots on Sammy. Then the spear, 1, 2, 3, Roman retains the belt. And then they attack Sammy afterward, Reigns and Jimmy. And then Kevin Owens returns and knocks down some of the bloodline and even hit Paul Heyman with a stunner. So Kevin Owens cleans house on the heels. And then afterwards, Sammy hit the liver kick on Roman after the match. So that was the end. So this match was really good. I think you kind of had the sensor, but you couldn't really shake that feeling of you kind of knew Sammy had no chance of winning this, even being when it's my hometown Montreal. Like you kind of knew he wasn't going to be winning, and honestly, it's kind of the right move. Like Roman's been champion for so long. If you're going to have him lose at this point, it should be at either WrestleMania or some big stadium show. Like, and with the story they've been telling with this, and what's going to come in the month to come with WrestleMania, what was to come with WrestleMania, you kind of knew Sammy wasn't going to win those titles. Even though it would have been a great moment for him, it might have ruined the storyline some arcs a bit for everyone. You have to know, like, Sammy was probably not going to headline WrestleMania with those titles. Even with the kind of tease Sammy versus Cody Rhodes for WrestleMania or that Raw beforehand, that was a great segment, by the way. You should really check it out. Really recommend you for that. But you kind of knew, even with that, you kind of knew Sammy wasn't winning. And, like, it really made sense for it to be a triple threat or to be anybody. They kind of had to say their course. With Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens eventually coming together to challenge the Usos for the tag team titles, and then have Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the Universal title at WrestleMania as well. Like, I will admit the finish was not as delivering as I thought it would be. I think Jey Uso could have played a much bigger role here, but excuse me. I thought he probably should have played a bigger role a little bit, even if it wasn't going to hit Roman. Like, even if you're gonna do the accidental chair shot, I thought he should have played a little bit of a role here in this one, but he really did much not play a factor to this finish. Like, throughout mostly, like, he really did not play a factor in any of it. So, yeah. So, like, but I like the dynamic of he still has issues with Roman and didn't turn on Sammy right then and there. Even though, like, they probably should have had Jey. Because with Sammy hitting the accidental super kick, Zayn could have thought in his mind that he was turning on him on purpose. So I think might should have kicked Sammy, but I think he probably just should have super kicked Sammy and then just walk out of it, just having nothing to do with it. Because they could have played to a fight like he hates Sammy now, but still has issue with the bloodline. So, yeah, that then they could have been much more definitive. So that's why people were never by the finish. So yeah, and Kevin Owens being run out for what he did and not being as definitive or answer to Sammy. That part I really like, because if you pay much attention to this storyline for months now, Sami Zayn pretty much screwed Kevin Owens over and helped the Bloodline win the match against his team as Survivor Series at War Games. At Royal Rumble, by the way, which Kevin Owens pointed out in the promo the next night after this, he said, like, at the Royal Rumble, the Bloodline were beating the hell out of Kevin Owens while Sammy stood there and watched it and let it happen, by the way. Like, he sat there and watched Kevin getting handcuffed while getting, like, 13 super kicks from the Usos. So yeah, when you really think about it, Kevin Owens embracing Sammy and just letting bygones be bygones after all that has happened throughout all of this storyline, that would have been pretty dumb. So it's better to play this story out in a much more natural and gradual way. So that way, the Owens and Saving Union moment can be a little much more because of the natural progression in this storyline. Like they got much reach before Mania. We only got like 5-6 weeks towards Mania. So it's better to let this story play on TV more. And then like, I don't know about a week before Mania, but either 3 or 2 weeks before to Mania, you can have the Sammy and Kevin reunion on TV, which is going to lead to the tag team match at Mania against the Usos. So, yeah, that was my whole sense of this entire main event. Like I said, if you're going to have Roman, it should be on a B-level pay-per-view just before WrestleMania. Like, it really makes much sense when you really think about it. But yeah, this was a still really good match with a cool twisted storyline, and it closed out a really good show. Like, Brock and Lashley was kind of the disappointing part of this show. They had a lousy finish, but other than that, this was a really good show with a good chamber match, a good mixed tag team match, an excellent elimination chamber match for the US title, and a really good main event between Roman Reigns and Sami. Like, and that crowd really had a play into it, where they're being so amped for that match and for Sami Zayn. That was great stuff. So yeah, I hope they can keep this energy up towards this road to WrestleMania. So yeah, that's it for the show. Like this video if you haven't, subscribe. Tell me what you think about Elimination Chamber in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Martinez, and I approve this mission.